Well, hello, everybody. Everyone's rolling in fast. Yeah, we're going to give it about 2-3 minutes just for everybody to come in, and then we're going to roll on. We've got about 1 minute left. Nice seeing everybody. Hope everybody's having a good evening so far. Probably just getting in from work, probably eating at the same time. Evening. Everybody just rolling in. We've got about 1 minute till we start. Yeah, let me know where you're. And I always assume everyone's from London, but if you're not from London, or if you are from London, let me know what part of London you are from in the chat. It'd be interesting to see where everybody's coming from. Cardiff, nice. East London, Salisbury, nice. Surrey, the Netherlands, wow. Cambridge, yeah, it's very London, just to assume that London is the center of the universe. Oh man, main character syndrome, eh? All right, we're gonna get started. I guess anybody that's coming in will, I'll give it 1 more minute. So 6:03. Let's get a couple more. South Africa, wow. Welcome. Let's get everybody in here. 1 more minute. Bay Area, just moved from Los Angeles. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Penarth. Never heard of that place. Need to share my screen so there's no hiccups. And then we will start. All right, before we get started, if you have any questions, just pop them in the Q&A section or the chat section. And Talia will be moderating, and hopefully I'll leave about 5 to 10 minutes at the end to answer questions. And if I don't, you can DM me. But let's get started. So obviously, I'm here to talk about personal branding with the Purposeful project that you see their logo in the bottom right corner, bottom left, sorry. Might be your right, might be my left. So today we're going to talk about why you need a personal brand and why you should have one, why people have them, who are these people, and how to construct them, where to have it, what platform. So let's get into it. So first of all, this is what everybody has. Let me go full screen actually. So this is what everybody has. Everybody has an online profile, right? That means you are online somewhere, but there's a huge difference between an online profile and actually having a personal brand. So like I said, everybody has an online profile. Your mom has one, your granny might even have one. I have one, but to transcend over into having a personal brand is intention. So online profile just means, oh, I'm online. I might have a LinkedIn. I put my work stuff there. Oh, I might have a Facebook. I just post my family there. Oh, I might have a Instagram. I just post a few things here and there, mostly just consuming other people's content. You are online. Someone searches your name, they can find you online. A personal brand is something that's very, very, very intentional. It's crafted, right? So what you're essentially doing is taking the best parts of you and packaging that and putting it online. Now you're thinking like, what the hell are the best parts of me? Right. So that could be your character. You could be like funny, goofy, could have a really big personality. We've seen loads of those people popping up over the internet over the years. You could have a different perspective. Like me, I'm talking about personal branding right now. Am I the only one to talk about personal branding? No. Did I invent personal branding? No. But I'm here talking about my perspective specifically on personal branding. So you're not going to come on the internet and do anything new. You're just going to give it a new perspective. And that's what most people are looking for the most part, right? You might come on here to share your knowledge, package your knowledge up about whatever it is you know about. Could be trainers, could be water, could be art, could be scissors, could be phones, could be technology, whatever it is. You are here talking about the knowledge that you have. And it could be your services. Most personal brands are linked to businesses. Well, that's what we're really going to get into here. So I just kind of want to make sure everyone's kind of on the same playing field in terms of the hold on a second. Oops. It's telling me. Okay. Sorry, it was telling me that my AirPods are connected for some reason. Yeah, so let's just making sure. God. What is going on? Cool. Hiccups. Anyway, let's just make sure everyone's on the same level playing field in terms of definitions, because sometimes we might use influencer, creator, and personal brand interchangeable. And to a certain extent, they are kind of synonyms of each other, but just to kind of flesh the definitions out a bit, influencer is someone who kind of documents their lifestyle and promotes other brands. So if you are showing people what you do day to day, you are an influencer. A creator who's someone who creates content based on their craft. So I like painting on trainers. I like fixing cars or cleaning cars. I watch a lot of cleaning TikTok or cleaning pools. You guys might know the pool guy. There's also a drain guy. It's not as nice as watching the pool guy because he's cleaning drains, but still quite good. You might like reupholstering couches, whatever it is. It's your craft. It's not necessarily around your life. It's your work that you do. And a personal brand is someone who builds a brand around their name, which is something that I have, the BKH, which is just simply my initials, right? I'm trying to get my name out there. You might know Kylie Jenner or Rihanna. Those are personal brands, and they're building their reputation around their name and what they stand for. So when you hear that name, it means something. If that name is attached to a product or a business or anything, it means something, and it instantly adds value to that thing that they attach their name to. So you are building your name, your reputation, right? So an influencer monetizes their lifestyle. They show their life, the clothes they wear, the perfumes they wear, the shoes, the places they go, the restaurants they go, the festivities they have, and brands find ways to fit into that lifestyle and connect with that person's audience. And that makes sense. You're monetizing your lifestyle. When you're a creator, you are monetizing your skills. You might sell shirts or merchandise, or, I know a couple of creators that they would drink coffee all the time. So they made a coffee brand. It just makes sense because you're monetizing your skills. A personal brand is monetizing your name. So for me, that might be writing books, doing classes like these, going to talk on panels, etc., etc. I'm monetizing the fact that my name can pull in attention. My name can make something get more attention and increase the reputation of that thing my name is attached to. Or you might be monetizing your passion, which is monetizing your interest. I'm interested in Star Wars and Dragon Ball Z and mystical sci-fi things like that. And there's a guy I follow on YouTube called Star Wars Theory. He's got 3 million subscribers, which is more than that official Star Wars channel. And he's monetized his interest, his passion. So for the most part, I'm mentioning all of these because no one is just one thing. No one is simply just a personal brand. No one is simply just a creator, because if you're an influencer and you make your own product, you're now a personal brand because it's your own product, because it's leading to your corporate brand. But I'm also a personal brand, but I've also done posts with the FBI. And I'm joking. I've done posts with Teachable, which kind of makes me an influencer because I'm trying to influence you to buy a ticket to a seminar. You might be, slightly monetizing your passion because, hey, I've got tickets to this place or that place. If anyone's interested in Star Wars, you can come along with me or watch latest Star Wars episode on Disney Plus at a watch party. So there's all kind of ways that you can kind of interlock these things. No one is just one thing. So for instance, let's take Kylie Jenner, right? I would say she's a personal brand because she's monetizing her name, and she makes brands based on her name: Kylie Skin, Kylie Baby, and Kylie Furniture, whatever she's coming up with next, right? But she also does deals with other brands. She might do a deal with the Headphone Beats or Givenchy, doing a perfume or whatever. So that makes her an influencer. So when you're a personal brand, you don't just have to be a personal brand for your own brand. You can still, delve into other areas. So ultimately, as a brand, I've said this word already, you are building your reputation. Your name means something. And if you should mess up, then that decreases your reputation. Really, if you do something good, or if you attach your name to something great, it increases your reputation. But that's all you're actually doing. So you might have an online profile, but you don't have a reputation. But when you are building a personal brand, it's very intentional to let people know what you stand for. I wouldn't be here if I didn't constantly badger on about content and personal branding and creators and creator economy. but that's my reputation. So they got me in to speak. Do you know what I mean? All right. So part of your reputation is your story, your style, your topic, your message, and your associations. We're going to get into that. And ultimately, you are building trust. People have to trust you. If I said, hey guys, I got this crypto coin. It's called creator coins, right? Or whatever it's called. And you go there, you get your money stolen and it blows up in the face. That's my reputation and it decreases the trust, right? If I say, hey guys, I've got this amazing product here, this book, and you buy the book and it changes your life, that increases trust. So ultimately, you are just trying to get people to trust you. If you lose trust, that's very, very bad, of course. So you have to step very carefully in order to get people to trust you, because at the end of the day, it's your reputation that's on the line. And that's very, very hard to build back if you lose it. So everyone always goes on about social media, but the truth is you are who Google says you are, right? Your name will be searched on Google before it will be searched on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I know some people might go straight, but if I'm searching someone's name, I go to Google because Google gives me everywhere you are. As you can see, I'm on Twitter, I have my own website, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, I'm even on Medium, I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn. If I search my name in Instagram, in Google, see, mine's on social media. If I search my name in Google, it gives me everywhere I am on the internet and anybody can pick and choose and find you. So the real question is, I'm not here to tell you, oh, you need to build a personal brand on LinkedIn or you need to build a personal brand on Twitter or Instagram specifically. No, you need to build your personal brand on the internet. So distribution is key. So I'm not going to sit here and say, jump on 5 platforms, but presence is key and distribution is key. You can't just rely on having one platform. Like for instance, if I said I'm selling shirts, but you can only get them at this one shop, you can't get it online. You can only get it at this one shop and it's at the top of Mount Everest. And I only sell it I'm only open one day a year for like 2 hours. You'd be like, what the heck? So when you are kind of on one platform, that's the same. Obviously, it's a hyperbole, but that is the kind of the same as saying that. So you need to have distribution. I'm not saying go hard on all platforms because it's practically impossible, but you need to find ways to distribute your content and make yourself look like a personal brand. So, and actually get personal. So a lot of people kind of have a personal brand. And I'm not saying like, tell everyone you're getting a divorce or tell everyone about your childhood trauma. No, but just bring people in on your day. And I've seen a lot of, especially women doing this, where they will like list the stuff on their Instagram stories. 8 a.m. I'm waking up, I'm reading my book, I'm taking a shower, going for a walk, walking the dog or whatever it is. And I get to work and I finish work, reply my emails. And it's very interesting to see people's day, because if you are a person who has reputation and people trust you, they don't just want to see you talk about work and talk about services and talk about personal branding all the time. No, they might want to see, your family on what you do with your family on the weekend and maybe what you're eating sometimes. So this is not to say bring them in your deepest, darkest secrets where you hid the bodies, but it's saying just bring them in your life and actually make it personal. A lot of people don't have personal brands. They've just got a voice. And a lot of people are very scared to show their face. But I always say you don't really have to show your face. But if you don't show your face, use your voice, because we're humans. Ever since we were born, we're either seeing faces or we're hearing voices. So one of these two things has to give. You just can't have a personal brand where you don't show your face, but you also don't speak. There's this very, very good creator called La 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 Let Me Explain. I think there might be another La in there, but it's La 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 Let Me Explain, something like that on Instagram. She doesn't show her face, but she goes live every week. It's just black and it's just her talking. She often talks on her stories, but we never see her face. But she's got over 100,000 followers. So you can show your face if you don't want to. Like, it even took me a while to even put my face up on my Instagram itself. And I understand how people can be a bit trepidatious about showing their faces. Like, oh, gotta get my hair right, makeup, lights, camera action, background, all of that. But if you don't want to show your face, you have to use your voice, because that's what makes it actually personal. Then if you're asking the question, should I start a personal brand? Just look at this image. It's an old image, but I've updated it. So Elon Musk has 100 million followers on Twitter alone. And obviously he's the owner of Tesla, a car company. So if you put all those car companies together, this is old, so it might be updated, but either way, none of them are even touching 100 million altogether. So if you're wondering if you should start a personal brand, if that's what you're here asking today, the answer is probably yes, because people don't want to connect with a Honda logo or a Volkswagen logo. They want to connect with a person, a man, someone who's human. We weren't born connecting with brands. Like we didn't care. No baby cared that they was drinking SMA. They just cared that it was milk. Do you know what I mean? And their mom was giving it to them. So they wanted to connect with a person. Kim K, one of the biggest, I would say, personal brands. And I would say personal brands rather than influencer, even though she has massive influence, is because ultimately she's selling you her brands. So Kim K here sells these brands. And you can see these are just the 4 brands that are linked in her bio. She's got Skims, she's got Skin by Kim, she's got her Kim Kardashian game, and she's got the Kardashians show on Hulu, right? Her lifestyle, her life is selling these brands. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Brian, just to let you know, we can't actually see the slides. It's not changing.
Okay. Is it working now?
No.
All right, let me stop sharing and share again.
Don't worry if not. We can just imagine it. We're imagining it.
Just my luck to have technical difficulties. Let's see. All right, share screen. How about now?
Perfect. Working.
Maybe it was a full screen. I'll leave it a full screen. So this is the Kim K image. Or where did you guys not see? It was the Elon Musk image. All right, this is Elon Musk. This is Kim K. So Kim K is essentially using her lifestyle and her life to sell these brands. So she's a personal brand selling these brands. She's fitting her own brands into her lifestyle, right? So she's an influencer for herself, for her own brands. That's why she's more of a personal brand to me, because everything is like carefully thought out in order to sell these brands and whatever she's got else she's got going, or whatever deal she's got going on right here. Also, insurance might sound like a weird word to connect to personal branding, but when you think about it, anything can happen at any moment in time in life. You could lose your job, you could become redundant, but Corona happened. So I'll tell you a quick story. So obviously the C word happened. Let's not even say it. The C word happened, and I had clients that year, and I lost most of my clients because I was doing some design work. So if they weren't making money, I couldn't make money. So it was fair enough. So I lost a lot of my clients. So I lost a lot of money. My income went less than half. So obviously I'm in trouble here. So what did I do? I said, you know what? I doubled down in I'd say about 6 weeks. I had an idea for a book. So I wrote that book, published that book. It was an ebook. And I think I was making about £400 on average a month for about 3-4 months. So not a lot of money. It wasn't all the income that I'd kind of lost, but it taught me a lesson that personal branding is a way of having insurance. So if you lose your job, you could maybe go and get another job because you have a personal brand and they can see that you are actually active online talking about what it is you know, right? Or if you're like me, you might be able to create a product that you've had an idea for, but maybe didn't have the time for, and now you have the time for, and you're essentially cashing in, something that's happened to you in life. You're cashing in on your personal brand and saying, hey, all this trust that I've built up with you guys, I've got something for you here. You can buy it. And that's kind of what I did. And it helped me. Like I said, it wasn't the largest amount of money. I wish I could sit here and say like it was 50K, some people making £1 million sometimes, but it definitely was helpful. So I definitely needed that extra £400 a month. So your personal brand can actually be an insurance if anything should happen on your life, for your job, for your family, or even if you just want to, you have a product and you just want to put it out there. So essentially you are utilizing content to remain relevant and relatable. Stuff is always happening politically, spiritually, in the news, in life, in other countries, on TV, gossip, stuff, controversial stuff is always happening. And I'm not saying you should comment on controversial stuff. I kind of stay away from that from the most part because I just talk about content and branding, so it kind of wouldn't fit. Sometimes I might post something a bit political just to let you guys know I'm human. But essentially, whatever is happening in your world, your industry, might be music, it might be art, it might be politics, it might be hair, whatever topic of conversation is happening, if it's relevant to your brand, you need to insert yourself into that conversation, because that's what keeps you relevant. And because essentially we're all humans, and the way to relate is by feeling what other people feel, right? So if, let's say, I don't know, let's say Gary Vee came out and said, personal branding is dead, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, whoa, well, I talk about personal branding. So I would go find a video where he said that, clip it, and comment on that video. And that video and my commentary on that video makes me, very relevant, because I'm clearly know what's going on. And everybody's like, whoa, is personal branding really relevant? Or da-da-da. So it makes me relevant by talking about it. Two, it makes me relatable, because I'm now addressing people's concerns. So one of the main things you want to do with your personal brand is be very relatable. And this doesn't mean talk about everything. I know the sky is falling in London right now, like politically, like, all the energy stuff and the cost of living. I pop a few of those things in my Instagram stories, but it's not totally consumed, what I talk about online, of course. But it makes me relatable, because like I'm affected by it too. Do you know what I mean? But if I just kind of ignore it, that wouldn't make sense. So effectively, as a personal brand, you're utilizing your content to remain relevant. And one thing you really have to do is tell your story. So I didn't put these people's names here, but some of you may know them, some of you may not know them. So Gary Vee, I know that Gary Vee emigrated from here. I mean, to America. Sorry, not here, to America with his family. His dad built a wine store. He didn't see his dad till he was about 14, because dad was working all the time. And when he was like 13, 14, his dad not forced him, but family. I say forced him, forced him to work in his shop. He took his dad's shop from 6 million to 60 million gross a year. Then he left with no money, and apart from his savings that he had, because he didn't want to take out his father's business, and he was a wine connoisseur and blah blah blah. Now, how do we know this? Because Gary Vee says it all the time. Lisa Nichols, she's like a motivational empowerment speaker. She's really, really great. She tells this story of when she was so broke that she couldn't afford milk or even nappies for her son, I think. So she would fashion a cloth to make nappies, and she didn't have enough milk tokens, and how she made it out. But she knew she had a dream, and she would write in these books by candlelight at night, because the father of her son had left her, and all these things. How do we know that? Because she tells her story. Stephen Bartlett, one of the biggest content creators and personal brands out right now, got a great podcast. He said he was dead broke. He used to go, his mom kicked him out because he dropped out of uni, I think it was. And he would go around to like Chicken Cottage and like wait till people didn't finish their food and rummage around in the couch in Chicken Cottage and like find £1.50 and see if he can afford a meal. But how do I know that story? Because he told his story. Richard Branson dropped out of high school, was dyslexic, made a magazine called The Virgin Magazine, was in a phone box, holding up the phone box, ringing everybody, see if he can get some advertising. And the rest is history. How do we know this? Because he told his story. So as a personal brand, there has to be a story attached. Now, obviously, some of these stories are going to be a bit mysterious, a bit, how do I say, a bit beefed up. Some of them might be a bit mythical, right? As in not entirely true, but just sounds good. So I'm not saying lie, but you got to make your story compelling. And every story that we've ever read, every great story, every human story is a story of triumph. How I was down and busted and disgusted. I was nowhere, like I had no chance, and then I won, right? Every story is a story of triumph. Oh, I was here and now I'm here, right? So when you are crafting your story or when you are telling your story, make sure it's a story of triumph, because that's how people are going to connect. Everybody wants to be a winner, right? And if you help them aspire to be a winner, you will become relatable. So you are trying to ultimately be relatable. A lot of people have a lot of problems with, like Kylie Jenner. I know she posted a picture about, oh, I'm taking my jet, should we take my jet or her husband's jet, right? And everyone was like, it's like, yeah, because it's not relatable. Nobody has jets. Some of us barely have cars. Some of us have bikes. Do you know what I mean? So, and this is her followers as well. There's people that actually love her. They were like kicking up a fuss. So tell your story, make it relatable, make it relevant, and just you're gonna have to repeat that story because that's what people are gonna connect with, right? So a brand is what you create when you want to be unforgettable. So I've been talking on the internet since about 2018 January, so that's like just over 4 years now. And I've been talking and I haven't got a lot of followers. I've got like 5,000 followers. I mean, compared to some other people, that is a lot of followers, but compared to some people with 20K, 30K, but I've been continuously talking about what I talk about. And that's just on my Instagram. I've got 5,000 on Instagram, about 3,000 something on Twitter. So about 8,000 in total. But because I keep talking about what I keep talking about, I've made myself unforgettable. So every time somebody wants to say, oh, who does content, personal branding? Oh, Brian does that. He's always talking about that. So if you want to be forgotten, then you can just have your online profile and just watch people. But if you want to be remembered, if you want to get your reputation up, if you want to build trust, you need to create content on maybe your own platform, meaning your website, or other platforms, meaning social media. Now, I'm into rap music and hip hop. So this slide is about style. So these are all rappers. They all come under the umbrella of rappers, right? I'm going to wrap up real quickly. I've got about 5 minutes left. 50 Cent is the rapper you listen to with the old 50 Cent, not the new one. He's an actor now. The old 50 Cent is the rapper you want to see if you want like gangster rap, street, I will shoot you in your face if you mess with me rap, right? Probably you might listen to that in the gym if you're trying to lift 150K or whatever, right? Meek Mill got that passion. He's just shouting at your face. Jay-Z, if you want to hear some raps about money. J. Cole, if you want to hear some introspective raps. And Wale, if you want to hear some sweet poetry, right? They're all rappers, but they all have a different style. So this is the same thing that you need to do with a personal brand. Again, I'm not the only person talking about content or social media or the creator economy, but I have my own style in the way I do it. So you need to cultivate your own style. That could be the way you have your hair. That could be the clothes you wear. That could be how you talk. That could be where you're set. That could be what you say, right? So you need to cultivate your own style, unique style, so people are coming specifically for you. Don't just repeat what other people say. I see a lot of people in my field simply repeating, oh, you have to use hashtags. And I came out and said, hashtags are dead. Hashtags have been dead. Hashtags are very, very useless. Name the last time you used a hashtag and it did anything for you. The people whose content we constantly share, constantly going viral, they don't use hashtags. You know what they do? They focus on good content. So you need to develop a style and a unique voice so that people can recognize you and people like you for you and people pick you for you. So you need to have a topic, a message, and associations. I'm going to breeze through this because I've got a few more slides. So your topic is obviously just what you are talking about. Your message is what you specifically have to say about that topic. Like I just said, I talk about personal branding and being a creator and content, but I don't say what everybody else says. I'm like, hashtags are just, don't waste your time on hashtags. Focus all your time on creating good content. And your associations are how you want to make people feel. I often post funny content because I want to make people laugh. I want to make people enjoy their life. Now, if you're wondering what topic if you're trying to decide what topic you want to talk about, you have to, for me, hit all these 6 points. So does it align with your strength? Are you talking about something that you know? For the love of God, please do not get on the internet and talk about something you do not know. Because one, you'll run out of content, and two, you'll look very, very stupid when someone who does know what they're talking about pops up. And the second one is, can it be monetized? Listen, I'm an adult. I've got family. Maybe these young 16-year-olds on the internet on Snapchat can just be doing it for fun. But ultimately, we're going to need to survive in this here tragic in England where the cost of living is rising to like 10K a month, right? So you have to ask yourself, is what the topic I'm going to talk about, can it be monetized? Does it benefit others? Do people actually want to hear about this topic? If I start talking about water and a different water that there is out there, is that something people want to hear? That's what you have to figure out. So will it help your personal and professional goals? So where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 2 years, 1 year, 3 years? What are you going to build your reputation for? Are you obsessed with it? Because you're going to have to talk about it a lot. And is there an existing community? That means there are people that, again, want to hear it. Can you fit yourself into that community? There's plenty of platforms for you to put your personal brand on. If you want to create community, there's Facebook. If you are work orientated, there's I was going to say Instagram, but it's LinkedIn. If you want to have fun, there's someone like Steve the Man, there's Snapchat. If you are great at typing and love typing words, there's Twitter. If you're great on video, there's YouTube. If you love talking, there's live audio. If you're great on video as well, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, then there's Pinterest. There is a place for everyone. All you have to do is find your space, and you have to align with your goals. So there's many goals that you could use to have a personal brand. One is your reputation. this is the main one. Two, you might want to get more work. I really started the BKH to get more design work, and it's just kind of spiraled out of control, to be honest. But my main goal was starting the BKH was to talk about branding online so I can get more design work. But now it's kind of taken a life of itself, and most people don't even know that I'm actually a graphic designer. You might just want to get engagement. You might want to join a community. You might just want to get more reach for your ideas. You might want to grow. You might want to get sales. You might want to collaborate with other people and other businesses. Or ultimately, you might want to get more opportunities. The amount of opportunities that I've gotten from just publishing my thoughts and my ideas and my perspectives on the internet is crazy. Like I never would have thought. I didn't come in there thinking I'm going to get opportunities. I just thought I'm just going to talk about what I like talking about. I'm going to keep talking about it. And if some other people like talking about it, I guess we'll talk about it together. That's all I thought. I was proper naive. I didn't really have like an action plan, but you will get a lot of opportunities if you are known to talk for what you know. And a lot of people say be yourself, but having a personal brand is not necessarily being yourself. It's being yourself on the internet and to the world. But I would say be bold, because there is a lot of people that kind of have a personal brand, but and they're holding back. Like they may be funnier in real life, but online they may not want to be silly, which is like something I struggle with. I used to be very silly like back in the day in school. But when I come online, I try to kind of be very serious. And my friend said to me, he's like, you're not like you are online, So obviously, intentionally online, I'm one way, right? Same with, Kim Kardashian or Rihanna or whoever, or Gary Vee. It's very intentional. So I would say if you are, if you do have a personal brand, or if you want to build one, I would say for the most part, be bold, because the internet is your canvas, right? All these platforms, they're your canvas. You can paint it however you want to paint it, but sometimes we're scared, right? Sometimes we're scared to just kind of put our real stuff out there, because like, oh, will I be accepted? Will they like me? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to be bold, right? Just be bold online and just put yourself out there, put your ideas, put your perspectives out there, and people will come. People will be attracted to you. People would like the way you sound, they like the way you talk, they will like the way you do things, and they will love your perspective. So just be bold and put yourself out there. And that's the end. I think I did it with 2 minutes to spare. Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Kelly says, what happens if you're an influencer for another company but have your own brand? Also, you've got an influencer deal for another company, I assume, but you also want to start making your own products. Well, first of all, you have to kind of ask yourself, is it a conflict of interest? So if you are an influencer, let's just say for, eyelashes, if you make an eyelash brand, clearly there's a very clear conflict of interest here, and you have to decide whether you want to promote them or you want to promote you. Whereas if you if you're influencer for an eyelash brand and you want to come out with a face cream, right, or face oil, let's say face oil, then it's not really a conflict of interest, because it kind of goes hand in hand, because you don't want to have nice eyelashes and have a dry face. So it depends whether it's a conflict of interest, but I would say it's okay. I would probably talk to them about it as well, because obviously they are tapping into your reach. So they're trying to reach the audience that you have. And if you are now promoting not even just your brand, if you're promoting other brands as well, they might look at that and think, well, we want all the reach. Do you know what I mean? So, and we're willing to pay for it or whatever. So for me, the main thing is just try and figure out if it's actually a conflict of interest first. And then, but I think you should be okay. Crystal says, how can you switch your name, brand, and create a new product? Let's say Kylie Jenner has Kylie Baby now. Can you do the same as a writer, for example, to create baby stuff on the same brand? Well, for me, it depends. Yeah, it really depends on how you've built your brand and how you are. So obviously, like the Jenners and the Kardashians are very, very, how do you say, very thoughtful. Like they know exactly what they're doing. And like me, I didn't come in here knowing exactly what I was doing. I just came in here and I decided to just express myself. But they came in the game knowing exactly what the game plan was, right? So if you've built your brand like Kylie, where everyone's coming for Kylie, and even Rihanna's done it. She's done with the perfume. I remember she was going to do fashion as well. She's done lingerie. I heard she was going to do furniture. She's done a lot of stuff. So if you build it around your name rather than your craft of writing, then it's easier to, attach products to it versus, oh, I write. So if you write, then you're probably known for writing. If you now say, oh, I'm a writer, but I make baby products, I think those are two very separate things. So I think intention is, something that you have to kind of nail from the start. Like, what am I doing? Am I building myself, or am I showing my skills? Which is why I didn't come on talking about design. I never talked about graphic design, but I've been doing it for like 17 years, but I've never talked about it. I've just talked about the after part of design, which is like branding, is what I really wanted to talk about. Because I was like, I don't want to talk, I do design every day, I don't want to talk about design. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I would say if you change your brand to be about you, then it's possible. But if you're just continuing your brand about writing, then it may not be a fit. It may just be awkward. So I'd probably say just maybe do a rebrand and just say, hey, it's all about me, less about my writing, more about my lifestyle. If you want to fit products into that lifestyle. So hello, do you pass the document? Yeah, I'll send out this document. Where can I put this document?
You can send it to me and I'll attach it.
Great, we can do that. So I'll send it to you. What's the best way for formatting your content as you go? Formatting your content. What do you mean? Elaborate on that for me, please, if you can. Single mama drama. Single mama drama. Could you elaborate what's the best way of formatting your content on the go, please? Rachel says, should you start building your personal brand before you start your business or wait? I would say yes, because again, people are going to be more attracted to you as the person because you're going to be relevant, you're going to be more relatable. No one wants to talk to a logo. That's why every business uses people. They will use a model, they'll use an influencer, they will use actors, they will use their employees, they will use the founders. Companies are people, so they use people. But if you are the main person, if you are the founder, I would definitely say get a head start, because if people are interested in you, then they will be interested in what you do. They'll be interested in your company. So the whole point is for you to get interest, right? So that anything you do, people are like, I want to know about it because that person is doing it. Whereas if your company is the other way around, you are working hard, you are making a marketing machine, just trying to convince people that your scissors is the best scissors, your scissors is the sharpest scissors. But if you're on your personal profile using them scissors every day and then say, hey guys, I got a scissor company. Look how I could just, cut these tomatoes or whatever. I know you don't cut tomatoes with scissors, but that's how sharp the scissors are. It cuts cucumbers. How about that? It cuts cucumbers. They're like, raw. Where can I get these scissors from? You are building the interest. Whereas if you just make a company and it's a logo and you're showing them, people have this filter where it's like, oh, company's trying to sell to me, shut down. And you have to work hard to convince them. But if life and you're just having fun cutting stuff, let me see what my scissors can cut, that's funny content, that's relatable, that's relevant. Do you know what I mean? So it makes it easier to sell your products and sell your company, sell the idea, sell the concept, sell the services, sell the products, whatever it is you're selling, if you as a person is doing it, is showing it off. And it feels very natural. It feels very authentic. It doesn't feel forced. Like, hey, buy these scissors. Do you know we have the sharpest scissors in town? It's an advert. Do you know what I mean? But you want to make it just feel seamless. I guess I mean single mama dramas come back, said, I guess I mean how to sell the idea. So how's the best way to format how to sell the idea? Well, look, I always say there's only 4 formats. So there's writing, images, audio, and video. Right now, every social platform is prioritizing video. Video seems to be the thing that everybody kind of needs to do. So unfortunately, everybody's gonna have to become a director, a writer, a producer, cameraman, effects man, editor, all of that. So right now, everybody has to learn how to create video. It's not to say that you shouldn't learn how to take a great pic, you shouldn't learn how to write. All those are still very, very relevant, and even learn how to talk, because you might go on TV and have to talk, or you might be featured on a podcast, or you might be doing a webinar. So knowing how to talk is very good. But ultimately, people want to see faces, people want to see movement, people want to see transitions, people want to see video. So I suggest an app called InShot. There's another app called CapCut, but I use InShot, which is really, really good, a really good, easy mobile editing app. And I would say like video is the format right now. Video holds retention. Video, you can add ads to it in the middle of it. So video is the kind of the format, whether that's on YouTube or whether that's on TikTok. Video is the format that kind of people are really, really watching right now. All right, last question from, oh, we got more questions. Oh no, last question from Kelly. How do you get your brand out wide as far as well as local small businesses, i.e. emails? Yeah. Okay. So how local? So look, local is kind of, I would say, a little bit easier because if you post on Instagram, you could tag locally. So if you're in Brixton, you could tag Brixton in your Instagram post. You can also go on like local Facebook groups. So I know a lot of even apartments, they have like a shared Facebook group where people say, oh, I've got this chest of drawers, I was going to chuck it out, but if anyone wants to come pick it up, I'm in number 54. There's so many local Brixton, these are London places, by the way. So if you're not from London, you probably won't know what the hell I'm talking about. But on Facebook, Brixton might have its own in business or even personal residents Facebook groups, and you can go in there and start connecting with people. You can also collect emails. So emails is a really, really underrated, I would say, even text messaging. It's really, really underrated forms of marketing. I know everything's like, oh, social media, Instagram. But if you want to get to connect with people even locally as well, emails, text messaging, Facebook groups are really, really good for that. But yeah, as a brand, I think it's definitely like if you have a shop, if you have a base, it's definitely important to market yourself locally. And that could even mean flyers. That could even mean like going on a Saturday and posting flyers to 3 or 4 roads around where the area where your shop is. Like I wouldn't throw away like local stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to market yourself, going local is really, really good because the residents of the area should know that you have a base somewhere. But we're gonna wrap up because it's 12 minutes over the time. Let me see. There's no more. I think I've answered all the questions. Doesn't seem like there's any more questions in the chat.
Thanks so much, Brian. Sorry, my dog is barking.
That's all right. We love dogs.
But I really appreciate you taking your time and talking to our community about personal brand. And this will be up, Drake. You're ruining it. And this will be up on YouTube in the next couple of days, and we'll be creating an article out of this, and I'll share the PDF that Brian's created for you guys in the next couple of days. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a lovely evening and enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you for turning up, and yeah, follow me on the BKH everywhere, and I guess I'll see you around. If you have a question, DM me. Enjoy your evening, guys.
Speak to you soon.
See ya.